Welcome back to episode 65.
I don't do that.
I do it all the time.
To episode 65.
4 more.
Thank you. Of Wildly Adequate, the show about anything, everything, and usually nothing. I just want you to know that while I was taking a piss before we started rolling, I came up with my episode 69 topic.
Oh, cool,
so I've got that in the chamber
Are you
now.
going to keep that for yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
I, as always, am 1/3 of your hosting crew, Mr. Matthew Russo, and I'm joined by, as always, Patrick and Mark. Just gonna adjust my wires real
I'm
quick.
I'm so high status that I have someone else introduce me
talking
for
to?
me. Talking to
Are
the
you talking to
crowd.
them?
Talking to the crowd, baby.
Malcolm's not here today,
He's
and
Why don't we just not even address it?
sounds like, well, I don't know about you, Patrick, but I don't know if you had a topic ready to go.
I did, but like we're just gonna
You did, and it sounded like Mark did. And I had a game, but I want to do it with all of us, or at least like a set of 3 if we had like a guest. So there's no real point in doing it. So I think we've decided to just do a little shooting the shit episode again.
Can I say,
Please.
I'm kind of happy that you guys didn't comment on my appearance
What do you mean?
because this is the exact set
Same
of clothes
outfit.
that I was wearing last night.
Do that sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay.
He always does that.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like
I do it more than I
You
should.
double dip.
I do it more than I should.
I do
Sure.
it sometimes. It's to me, I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, But I
Especially
felt like-
shorts. Like I'll wear the same pair of shorts like 2-3 days in a
Oh,
row.
bro,
And
shorts?
just like switch out t-shirts.
Bro, shorts. I always have a pair of shorts underneath. Like when I'm,
You know,
Here we go.
I've heard people say that
I
before.
always have shorts on underneath.
That's
Wow.
a little weird to me because if it's hot out, it becomes too much. If you have another layer.
Well, the thing is, if it's hot out, but the thing is, like, I don't know why. It's like, I think back in the day, I always needed to be ready to play soccer.
you can put your pants back
Yeah,
on.
that's what I'm trying to do. I think back in the day, I always needed to be ready to play soccer, so I always had these pair of shorts handy. But also, coming back from the house, being able to just take your pants off and like you're good.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
There's no whole.
That's
like,
the appeal for
You
me.
don't have to go to your room and switch it
Yeah,
out.
no,
and
I just
fold
like
and-
throw this like on a chair or something, and then
Sure.
I can take it up when I'm.
Honestly, I feel like I don't know why I don't like wearing the same thing twice. Generally, like I every day I wanted to wear a different thing. Even with like, I mean, of course, like, especially with to me, like if I'm working a lot too, like I don't want to be. I would never wear the same pair of socks more than, like if I wore a pair of socks the whole day, the next day I'm switching it out.
Oh,
I'm
you
going.
okay? So yeah, socks.
I'm
You
pretty
can't.
sure. I'm pretty sure it's unanimous.
Yeah.
But
Because it's sweaty. Like your
For
feet
sure.
get sweaty, right?
for sure.
Yeah.
But then also to me, like, even like when I was at work all day, I was in my sweater, and I wasn't like sweating at work or anything. But I wanted to switch the sweater because I just wanted to like feel different. I don't know. I just don't want to.
During mid shift.
No, when I got here, like when I went
Oh,
home
I
and
see.
changed,
Okay.
because I don't want to. I don't know. Every day I like changing whatever I'm wearing, and sometimes like if I hung out one time, I don't want to like see you guys like in the morning or then at night I'm wearing the same thing. I want to mix it up.
I see.
You know, I just feel like it's fun. It's kind of like you're customizing your life, I guess. You know,
How's the facial hair coming?
I mean, you tell me. I don't know.
How do you feel?
I feel good.
Okay.
I'm trying to see if the
connection's
connection's gonna happen because when I let the mustache go, it goes pretty low, and then when I've only let this go for a few days and it's like starting to creep up, so I'm gonna like make the little goatee and see how it looks. I think it's gonna look good. I think it's already looking decent. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. What do you think, Matt, on his progress?
It's looking good.
Thank you.
Are you just
support
saying that,
this.
or-
No, I support this move.
Okay. Cool.
I've done some research into it, and I think I've talked to you guys about it before. But like, in terms of what facial hair is best for what face shape, and like kind of trying to choose a facial hairstyle that works for your face. And I have a kind of like rounder, chubbier face, so I find that I was googling like facial hairstyles for round faces and whatever, and generally like all the results were like, don't grow a beard, like don't grow hair on your cheeks. And I was like, why? And so I remember I told you I'm going to let my hair grow out of my face. And the more it grew out, the more my face looked like bigger, like chubbier, because it almost like adds more attention to the sides of your face and like rounds it out more. I've heard that beards look good on angular faces, like faces that are like if you're more like long or oblong or whatever,
More
because then it just makes you. It
I was
just
going
kind
to
of
say chiseled, you know?
yeah, it defines you a little bit.
Yeah, like kind of Adonis. Like
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
No beard.
But then I hear that for for my face shape, it's like you want like a goatee, a mustache, like something that's gonna like just like bring the attention to the center of your face and kind of make it elongated in a way. And I wasn't sure about that at first. I was like, who gives a shit? I'm gonna try to grow the beard. But sure enough, I tried to grow the beard and I didn't like it. So now I'm sticking with this, and I think this is gonna be my thing now. Whether I grow the goatee or not, I don't know. I might just like shave this down and just have the chin mustache combo. But I think I like the goatee idea. At first, like when I was younger, I was like, that kind of looks weird. It's like an old man thing, but I kind of like it now that I'm thinking about it. So, yeah.
To me, I always associated that with Will Turner from Pirates of the Caribbean. So
Will Turner, who's that? I've
Will-
never watched. I don't think I've ever watched.
oh,
I think I watched the first one with you guys at some point.
maybe over the pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has like a little
Mm.
1-2 going on.
Mm.
He's Orlando Bloom. He's pretty handsome.
Mhm.
You know what? It's interesting. I think that goatees work on some people, but not on other people. I think it works for my hair type.
Like for Matt, it would never work. A beard doesn't work for Matt. Like a thing doesn't.
No, but I think that like some people have like super dense, thick beard hair,
Mm.
and it looks good when they have a full beard.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like for me, mine's more like whiskery,
Okay.
like kind of like thin and wispy, and I like the way it looks actually. But I think people who have like thick, dense hair when they have the goatee, it looks a little bit too like boxy. You know what I'm saying? But I kind
Is
of
that
like
a consequence of how they line it up though.
it could be, yeah. But it's hard to line it up in a way that feels natural and not straight.
True.
For me, I use like my safety razor. I just like cut it, and then it almost like creates like a natural fade in a
Mhm.
way where it's like kind of like a couple loose hairs on the end, but then I like line it up generally. But I don't use like a sharp line.
True.
But yeah, I don't know. I've been liking maintaining my facial hair because my facial hair grows pretty quickly. Like I already feel like kind of it's starting to prickle a little bit. I just shaved yesterday, so like I'm shaving every day now, like every 2 days. So
It couldn't be me.
Yeah.
I mean, there's blessings and curses to what I've got going on here.
But it's fun. I feel it's just a peaceful experience to me. I think I've talked about this before, like shaving. I just love
Mhm.
shaving.
Yeah.
It's just like a fun. I just play some music, take my time. I like using like the aftershave, and I don't know. It just feels clean and nice, you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Tell me that you guys have seen this. Okay, this theme of video has popped up for me so many times on social media at this point. All it is it's a shot of a dog.
Mhm.
There's a plate in front of the dog,
Mhm.
and they're feeding it pork chops,
Mhm.
emu eggs,
I've seen this,
cow heart,
and fish
chicken
eggs.
feet, fish eggs.
It's like super like
Search this
organic.
up right now.
organic
You haven't
stuff.
seen this? It's
What's the point of it?
just
The whole
it's
idea.
just the whole idea is that these dogs are being fed like kings,
Yeah, yeah.
and you're just watching them eat.
Yeah, the whole yeah.
And I can't take my eyes off it.
Yeah.
Every time a video of
You know-
that pops up, I watch the whole
You know
thing.
what's addicting?
Every
You know
time.
what's
Brain
addicting about
rot.
it? What's addicting about it is the noise that the dogs make for some reason. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like just like kind of like it's weird. Like it's like gross, but it's also like you can't stop looking at it and listening to it. And then also like they eat so quickly and they do like these jump cuts.
Mhm.
You know, they do the
Yeah,
jump
they
cuts,
do the
right?
jump cuts,
So it'll be like it starts eating the liver and then it just cuts and all of a sudden like the eggs are gone and all of a sudden so it's like
But also
it's all like organic, grass fed, whatever.
but also the unique, like they have duck heads sometimes.
Wow.
Sometimes there's like lamb fucking feet. I don't know, bro.
Mm.
Like it's just the most random
Mm.
parts of these animals. I saw. What did I see the
Koala
other
koala
day?
ear.
I saw like koala ear.
No.
No, bro. I saw goat ears.
Wow.
Someone did goat ears,
Mm.
and under the caption, it's let's say the dog's name is Bear. Bear's diet has been carefully mapped by a veterinarian, and all of this is okay for him. He loves it, whatever. Like just trying like a disclaimer kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
I like the videos of monkeys eating stuff. I've been looking at those a lot.
Really?
Like the one I showed you of like a monkey just eating
Yeah,
spaghetti
yeah,
meatballs.
that's good. Yeah.
Have you seen this? It's so
That
good.
one I saw. Patrick, I'm gonna need you to do me a favor and move your bird
Okay.
Yeah, it's
because I noticed.
let's just pause.
I don't think it was last episode, but it was one that I was editing recently, and I noticed the birds quite a bit, and I was like, we should really get that bird out of here, set that thing free.
You know what I saw on Instagram recently? It was a video of like, the fact that like Taylor Swift broke the record for fastest flight or something. She had like a minute 40-second flight where she like just got onto the plane and like flew across the city and just landed.
Thank you, Patrick.
Have you heard about this, Patrick? Also, your mic's off. I don't know when you did that. But has it been off the whole time?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was
I
telling
don't
Maddie
think
there's like
so.
a video of Taylor Swift. Like people were like shitting on her for having like the shortest flight ever. Like she took like a minute 40-second flight or something to get from like point A to point B within the town or city or whatever.
I saw a video of like it was just a meme. It was like and it was someone drinking out of a paper straw. It's like us drinking out of paper straws while
Yep.
Taylor Swift is taking her.
Yeah, and it's like a map and it's like jumping back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just looking at it. It was like it's like the America map, like the map of America, and
It
she's
was
just
all
like
her
ping
flights in
ponging
that one year, right?
Yeah.
I never get that the like
private jet.
people shitting on Taylor Swift for that.
What do
Why?
you mean?
Like I get it to an extent.
Because a lot of those you don't have to take a minute long private jet.
Sure,
flight, you know?
like I get it. I get the argument in essence, but
Yeah.
it's always just been so dumb to me. Where it's like people are like, Taylor Swift, she's doing all this for the environment. Now I'm like, what about like the governments dumping like shitloads of pollutants into the fucking ocean? Like, don't you think that's a little more pressing than like one woman like flying everywhere?
Which governments?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Which governments are you talking about?
Don't have an example.
Oh,
Just
what
talking
pollutants?
shit. Don't have an example. Just talking shit. But you know what I mean. There are like countries that are doing shit and companies that do shit infinitely worse. Some oil company that's like fracking in South America and chopping up the Amazon.
But I think
it's like, don't you think that's like way more pressing?
But I also think that it's like I think a lot of people have a problem with this because it's like an individual person who uses way more than any other individual person like ever type thing. Like no other individual normal person would ever use that much, like cause that much emissions. You know?
It's also true that like there's stuff that's like more pressing, I guess, like China and India.
But it's also not an individual
examples.
Thing, though, is what I'm saying.
Like those aren't individuals, but also like the private jet industry. Isn't that like something that environmentalists are like, oh my god, the private jet industry is like
probably. I guess it's just, to me, it's like it's not that I disagree.
Yeah.
With the like, you know, hey, Taylor Swift and friends, maybe
I think
cool
it mainly stems from the. Is she an environmentalist? Is she?
I don't know.
Not that I'm aware of.
Oh, okay. So she's not one.
I don't think she's like out there constantly being like, you know, go green.
I thought it was like a hypocrisy thing.
No, I think it just stems from her being so popular right now, and then there being like an equal wave of like hate to kind of counteract the amount of insane popularity she's getting right now.
Yeah, people just like shitting on her.
Yeah, so people are like, you know, she's so big right now. People like are always talking about her, and then people make fun of her fans for being crazy or whatever. So, I think it's just like to counteract that. People are like, oh, look what other shit she's doing, and it's valid for sure. But I'm sure other artists do it too.
In my mind, I always thought she was like a hardcore environmentalist.
Well, I don't think I've ever heard her speak about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm sure most celebrities like they kind of like publicize that and they talk about how they care about the environment. I don't think there's any celebrities.
If she was, then it would be like the hypocrisy thing. Or
sure, for sure.
Yeah, I don't think it's a hypocrisy thing. I think it's just people being like, you know, oh, you're doing like stuff that's not good for the environment or whatever.
Okay, that makes sense.
Right, whatever.
Have you guys seen those videos of that one Taylor Swift fan who is like with her friends and they couldn't buy tickets or whatever because it sold out so quickly, and they're outside this huge like Coliseum looking thing, and they're just like she's sitting like cross-legged on the floor. Just listening to the songs, and her two friends are like on either side of her, and then like all of a sudden a song stops and the next song starts, and then the friends like the girl who's like, you know, really emotional is like sitting there cross-legged and she's like trying to listen out for what song is coming up next, and I don't know what song starts playing, and then she immediately like starts screaming and crying, and her friends are like kind of like petting her like you're okay, and all the comments are like fucking Taylor Swift fans are like, what the hell's wrong with this lady? Yeah.
God damn.
And it was just like you can barely hear the song. It's like very, very distant in the background. She starts like screaming and crying.
Do you know what Taylor Swift's most recent album is called?
Taylor's version? Isn't it something Taylor's version or something?
It's called The Tortured Poets Department.
Oh, that's so gross. I hate that title, dude. What's the Taylor's version thing I'm talking about?
I have no idea.
It's her re-recording all her old albums.
Sure, yeah.
And calling them like Taylor's version of like 1981 and all these other
Because she wasn't making the proper money on it or something.
I think it was that, and that like she didn't technically own
her stuff,
the rights to some of it or something. Like it was some fucking CD record company nonsense.
But now she owns all of it.
Whereas like, yeah, I think the whole point was like she just was like, all right, fuck it. Like instead of trying to get it back or whatever, I'm just going to go redo it all and make a shitload of money.
Yeah. Although I'm risking an alienating lemma right now, I'd like to know who here thinks Taylor Swift is a tortured poet?
What does that even mean?
A tortured poet?
I mean, I get the general idea, but like, how would I know? You know, I don't know. I doubt it. I doubt she's a tortured poet.
Is that in reference to her, that title?
I think it is.
I mean, I guess it depends.
All of her music is so egocentric.
I guess
it's all about her.
Your definition of tortured.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure she eats a lot of shit from a lot of people.
Yeah.
But
also,
is
it's
that
like
equivalent to some guy in medieval times being thrown into an Iron Maiden? I don't know.
Also, it's like she's uber rich, like insanely rich. It's not like she goes through the same sort of problems of people who are like in poverty stricken.
Yeah, definitely not.
Here's the thing, though. But the first part that we have to tackle is she can't be a tortured poet without being a poet. So is she really a poet? Is my question.
I guess
I think
literally.
That's a subjective thing, but yeah, I think if you're writing your own material,
if you're a songwriter, yeah.
Is she writing her own material? Do we know?
I don't know. Yeah, we don't know this.
I assume
I mean,
so.
to me, this conversation is literally all just speculation because I have no idea anything about her other than the fact that like I'm not a big fan of her music generally.
I never got the ghostwriter thing.
What do you mean?
Still don't.
Of like people getting
why people do
written
it?
for them?
I get why people do it, but I don't get why people act like it's a big deal, and I don't get why more artists don't try and normalize it being a thing.
I think it's because for artists, it's like so. It's almost like you're selling yourself, you know, as an artist. So it's like
That's why.
So
That's definitely why.
it almost feels disingenuous for people to be like, oh, you're representing yourself as this artist and you're creating this stuff, but it's like you're not actually creating much. You're just like a poster.
You know why as
I
well?
guess.
Because oftentimes you have no idea that it was a
Sure.
ghostwriter.
Yeah,
The proper credit is never given to
But that's my
people.
point of saying, like, why not just like be like, yeah, this is an
Experiment
Well,
album I made that.
It's almost a paradox because they're selling themselves. So if they are more outspoken about the
It diminishes
ghostwriter, it
themselves,
probably
yeah.
it might like
diminish their image.
diminish exactly
For
their
sure.
image or
I guess,
Like-
but I think
like
it depends on
lower
the
their
person.
standard.
Like if like let's say like Pink Floyd came out and be like, none of us wrote any of this shit. Like this is all just handed to us by some like writers that we hired or whatever. You would
How
still
would
that
that
would
make you feel?
You would still
that
lo-
would feel more disingenuous because of what the music is. Like to me, if like Kendrick Lamar came out and was like Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, I didn't write a word on that. That would feel more disingenuous because it's like, well, the entire point of that album is that it's like a therapy
you're
session
saying like
and
pop
very
music,
like
whatever.
it's very like personal and
Yeah.
deep and intimate. So
yeah,
to have
so
it come
isn't
out
that then disingenuous? Like it's personal to him though. It's not personal in a
that's
general
more
sense.
disingenuous. But I'm saying like some pop star or someone who comes out and is just making a song, or even
Yeah.
if like Kendrick Lamar came out, where like a couple of the songs on Mr. Morale were like ghost written, but the like more intimate ones were me. Like that doesn't necessarily bug me as much. It depends what the subject matter
This is true.
of the song.
Yeah,
is.
if it's like a generic like pop song, I get that.
But even
However, a lot of rap, for example, is
personal story.
personal stuff.
some
in
of it is, but a
sense.
lot of it's just bullshitting and storytelling, anyways. Like
Yeah.
if Drake came out and I
Well,
know people
storytelling
talk
from
about
what
Drake.
though? Like for example, some of Kendrick's like beef with Drake is because some of Drake's songs are like about him talking about how thug he is, but like Kendrick's like you grew up in Canada kind of thing, so don't.
But
talk
that's what I'm
about-
saying.
Talk
If
about
Drake
Canada,
came
rap
out,
about
if
Canada.
Drake came out with a song where it's like, doing drugs and guns and fucking bitches and whatever, like
Yeah.
if he then came out and was like, yeah, that was ghost written, I was like, all right, I don't
Yeah.
like whatever. I don't think that takes anything away from Drake and whatever. Whereas like if Kendrick comes out and it's like, here's a song about like my transgender aunt or whatever, and like growing up with that and like the headspace of all that and whatever and blah blah blah, and oops, I didn't write any of it. It's like, well, that feels
yeah,
a lot gross to me. It's just like, I know it's not a one-to-one thing,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like no actors running around being like, I write all the fucking fantastic scripts and stuff and whatever I do. It's like, no, it's this collaborative thing where it's like you have the writer and then the fucking director takes it and the actor takes it and, you know, an editor chops it all. Like it's this much more collaborative thing, whereas I feel like with music it is more trying to be like, that almost to me is more disingenuous of being like, yep, I'm Drake and I write every single one of these songs and come up with all the music and all this shit. It's all me and nobody helps me and blah, blah, blah. It's like that to me is way more disingenuous of like, why not just come out and be like, I have an idea for a song. I go to like writers who take it, the idea, the nugget of it, and, you know, kind of give it back to me. And then I go into the studio and work with other people and come up with beats and blah 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 blah, and then, you know, put a whole song together.
I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with that. It's just like the way the history of music has gone up until now. It's like no one's gonna be. I feel like people are gonna have a problem with that, you know, just because of how things have been up until this point. Like it's not been. I don't know how common ghostwriting has been, but I feel like up until now, music it's like supposed to be in people's eyes like your own creative individual expression type thing. So I think that's just the view. But I think if Drake did that, or I think there's been like rumors of him like ghostwriting or whatever. I don't know.
I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who have like, and I'm not saying they do like all their music or an entire album, but I guarantee you there are like famous musicians out there who
The
like,
first person on my list is Taylor Swift. Go on.
I just think
who
that,
like maybe they have an album of like 10 songs and like 3 of them were like ghost written and the other 7 was all them.
I'm sure it's just what Patrick was saying, where they're just afraid that it's gonna make them less marketable and people are gonna not be as interested in them because it doesn't feel like it's like, remember when we were talking about AI or whatever. Like this is not quite on that level, obviously, because it's a human writing, but like it's like almost like a step removed from that person. It doesn't feel like you're connected to that person anymore. It's like, oh, I don't even know what this person is thinking or feeling or trying to express. Like they're not trying to express anything. They just sound good. Like I don't give a shit about sounding good. Like I want to know what they're, you know, how
But
they're
that
feeling.
would be my counterpoint to whereas like
Some
as
people don't
long as
care.
the music's good, I don't
Yeah.
think most people would really give a fuck.
Yeah, especially with pop for sure. As long as it kind of sounds good to you.
Pop is the most ghost writable
for sure.
genre.
Yeah, it's just generic,
Yeah.
vague stuff. Country music probably, because they just talk about like generic stories of getting heartbroken or whatever.
Mm.
You know.
tractors and whiskey. Mark just pissed off all the country
Yeah, I don't
fans.
Yeah, we just made an
All
enemy
se-
of a
all-
whole.
It's
all
okay.
7 of you.
It's okay. Country
Bro,
music's-
country's popping,
I know, I
bro.
know.
It's okay. Country
It is.
music's whack. It's okay. It's fine.
Yeah, have you guys heard Shabuzi's song?
No.
That's a real name. That's a real artist.
That's
Shabuzi.
Shabuzi.
You guys have heard it? The one that goes, me and Jack Dale's got a history.
Nope.
Oh my.
No, and also
Good
you just got
Lord.
us copyright claim, so thanks.
Yeah, never heard it.
Come on. Pour me up a double shot of whiskey.
No.
They know me and Jack Dale's got a history. How?
This Patrick, country music is an entire genre of music that I am
But it's the most
completely disconnected to.
It's the shallowest country song. It's borderline like pop, bro. Like it's not. You know
Yeah,
what
but
I'm
I
saying?
don't listen to
but I
country
don't
music at all.
listen to that.
And I also don't. I don't have TikTok.
TikTok,
I mean, I have
oh, yeah.
Instagram, but
It got viral on TikTok. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Fuck country
yeah.
music.
Okay.
No, I don't know. Yeah, the ghostwriter thing to me, it's just always been like, why not just like own it and just be like,
Yeah.
I made an album. 7 of these songs I came up with, like 3 of them, like were written by other people. Blah 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 blah. Like I'm still performing it and doing the music and all this shit. Like I don't know. Let's just own it a little more.
Yeah.
Patrick.
Who do we have for the Euros? The Euros are coming up.
I don't know.
Well,
I
of
don't really
course,
watch soccer
Italy.
enough to have a good like a good.
Throw
Yeah.
throw an intuitive guess out there.
I mean, I've been saying this for a long time. I want Belgium to win.
Belgium. It would be nice if Belgium won. Bro, De Bruyne.
So good.
I fear he's gonna go down in history as a super underrated midfielder, bro.
Why? Because he's not going to win any trophies.
Well,
he
he's
won-
won a few with City, but
like
like
Premier League
individual trophies. Like I'd love him to win a Ballon d'Or
Mm.
one day. That would be so
He's
so good
consistent,
for
right?
him. He is such a crazy player.
Mm.
The way he moves the ball,
Mm.
I'm in love, man. I'm in love with him. Yeah. So Italy, Portugal, obviously.
Yeah, I'll be rooting for the Paisanos.
It's so unfair for someone like Matthew who has 2 teams
Like 2 solid.
where he
teams,
can
too.
two, and they're solid for
Yeah.
sure. They're definitely solid.
Just
We got
one.
nothing.
Italy's not going to win again though, right? Because
Just
they
one.
just won
Mm.
the last year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's how it works generally. Like the world.
No, oh well, I mean
You
that's not how it works generally. But I'm just saying right now they're not.
The
Gonna win,
odds
I don't
are.
think. I
Well,
don't
my
think so.
dad was saying recently, I don't know if in the Euros history, maybe, I think he was saying it was like maybe France or Spain or something. I don't know if there's ever been like a
One or
2 for
twice.
like
Oh.
back to back.
There you go.
So are the
Whatever
Wops
that
going to win it?
means.
Probably not.
I think
Yeah.
I want this to be on the record right now.
Mm.
My dark horse team for the Euros is Hungary.
Okay.
I think Hungary is gonna surprise a lot of people.
Why is that?
They're gonna get because in the past few international tournaments they've played in,
Mm.
they've overperformed what people people's expectations.
Mm.
So but they haven't made like a splash. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? They've been pitted against top teams like Germany, right? But they haven't gone far yet. Extraordinarily far yet in a tournament. So
Mm.
I think this is the year where
I
they
hope
pull it out.
Croatia loses really badly.
Why?
Why?
Is that?
And I know Croatia's like a good team, but I just hope they lose badly.
Why?
I just feel like most of the Croatian fans I've ever known are like Habs fans. And I just like can't.
So you associate the two?
Yeah. And like not the fine people. Some of them have been friends of mine. But like as
Are they
sports
actually fine
fans
people?
and like soccer
Are they really
fans
fine
and shit.
people?
Hmm?
Are they actually fine people though?
Yes.
Okay.
Some of them have been friends of mine. I'm just saying. But like when it comes to like soccer and like, as sports fans, I just find in my experience it's been a little unbearable. So Croatia, I hope you
Like
lose.
Croatia fans are unbearable? Well, you're making 2 points right now. Are they Habs fans or it's because they're unbearable? Which
It's a
one?
combo of
It's
the
a
two.
combo. Okay.
So I hope Croatia loses like immediately and
Mhm.
Mm.
plays like shit and flunks out and doesn't win a game.
Yeah.
No goals. Just like
Just no, they
Just,
don't
like,
even
shut
score
out.
once in the tournament.
shut out like 2-3 games or whatever it is and then knocked out,
Yeah.
Dude, what do you think is gonna happen when Patrick moves away, in terms of like our friendships? Like, how do you guys think that's gonna go down? Because I was
I think it's
thinking,
all gonna go down in flames.
I was thinking about this. I was like, when you go away to Saskatchewan, I'm gonna be like, I was trying to think like, what are me and Maddie and Malcolm gonna do in terms of like hanging out? Like,
sex.
Here's the thing.
yeah, for sure. But
Here's the
yeah.
thing. There's just something really important to acknowledge right here.
Mm.
Malcolm has had one foot out the door for a very long time now.
Of what our friendship.
Of like not of our friendship.
That's what I'm talking about. Friendship.
I understand that, but you're talking about like how's it gonna go moving forward.
Yeah.
We haven't been seeing him.
Sure.
And he's gonna continue work beyond the summer. He doesn't have school anymore.
Yeah.
So his schedule is gonna stay pretty consistent.
Mm.
And he's got Bella in his life.
Mhm.
And so
Yeah.
I'm
it's
just
not
gonna
be-
assume that trend is gonna keep going.
Yeah. I get that.
I mean, there's a part of me that's looking forward to being able to do the show remotely. No, I don't
I
like.
can't wait to set up my room to like have it like.
Yeah,
You know what
I
I'm
don't
saying?
like losing the live in person aspect, and
No, me neither.
doing it online has its fair share of technical difficulties sometimes. But I'm just looking forward to like editing being a lot easier, and just being able to like not have to leave my house and just
What would the idea be? Like
Sit in my
we like
room.
record a Zoom meeting or something, or how do we? Yeah.
yeah. At some point over this summer, we're gonna have to do like a test run episode for the people.
The problem is too like I guess for a recording the quality is fine as long as you're using like a decent device, right?
Yeah, that's
I
my
probably
thing.
just do it on my
is
phone.
Everybody's
my
gonna.
laptop kinda sucks webcam wise.
Everybody might. We might have to like look into getting like nothing fancy, but just like cheaper little webcams, maybe.
Well,
Because
why
even
can't I just use my
Michael
phone,
has
though?
like a itty bitty one.
I think my phone has a my phone.
Connect your mic
My
though,
phone has a decent camera. What do you mean?
because we need the mic audio still, right?
It's all very inside baseball, but yes, it's gonna have to be all of us like plugging our mics into our individual computers and then
Yeah.
like recording it that way.
We'll
and
figure it out.
We'll figure it
doing
out.
the
But what
whole
else?
thing. So at some point over the summer, we'll do a test
Yeah.
run.
But what I was thinking is like, when Patrick's gone, like how, because right now it's like, let's say we do the show once a week, and then we I don't know. I think we hang out with each other more than Malcolm hangs out with us at this point. Like, how often would you guys say we hang out and do stuff? Like twice a week?
Yeah, these days probably twice.
Probably something like
So
that.
let's say like 3 times a week we see each other.
Wait,
Like
was that twice a week, not including the podcast?
So okay, let's say 2 times. 1 time without the podcast, 1 time podcast.
Okay.
Twice a week. I wonder how that's gonna look when he's not here. Like, how do you think that would look? Like, I can't foresee me, you, and Malcolm just hanging out a couple times a week ever, like with Malcolm's schedule. So it's kind of it's interesting how it, like, one person leaving, like, well, the dynamic is different, you know. Like, it's not like one of those things because Malcolm, again, his schedule is we only see him once a week, if that, you know. So then it's just you and I. Just fuck.
Just fuck. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll have to.
I
see.
think
I
it would be
guess we're
different
start
if-
recruiting.
Yes, fill my slot.
Fill
I
your
feel
slot.
like it
Fill
would be
your slot.
different if Malcolm wasn't so absent.
Yeah.
It would be there would still be like a Three Musketeers kind of
Yeah.
situation, you know.
I
Sure.
guess, but the benefit of doing the podcast is even when you're out west, still gonna be doing that once a week
There you go. Yeah,
and just playing fucking video games all the time and just chatting it up.
I'm gonna be right now. Saskatoon is 2 hours behind, but in the winter it's 1 hour behind.
Sure.
Yeah. So when we're done this is actually something I was thinking about because we usually stop playing at 12.
Sure.
That means I'll be done playing at 11 when you guys are done. And
It's better for you.
Go to sleep. Better for me. Go to
There you
sleep
go.
earlier.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Saskatoon.
Thank you, Saskatoon. Thank you,
Sas-
time.
Saskatoon.
So how many years is your program going to be there?
So it's 5 years. The 5th year is a residency program,
You're
and
doing
I'm
that in
planning.
Chicago?
I'm planning to do that in Chicago or somewhere else in America, but
Chicago
preferably
would be so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how safe it is there, generally. But I think it's just
Yeah.
like I've heard it's. I mean, like the food's, you know, you get a Chicago dog. That'd be
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Well, my family lives off of
They're in a good area?
the main the town. What's wrong with me? The city.
Like
Mhm.
they're like well, the state is Illinois.
The state's Illinois. Yeah.
How big is Illinois? Is it mainly
It's pretty
Chicago?
big. It's a big
Is
state.
it mainly just Chicago?
Well, that's the major city in Illinois.
Like I'm saying, like I wonder what percentage of the mass of Illinois is just Chicago.
We can search it up.
Nah, it's not. Interesting. It's not
So
interesting
serious.
enough.
Does it scare you to know that by the time you're done, you're gonna be like 30?
Yeah, 30.
No.
Okay. There you have it.
All right.
Well, there you have it, folks.
End of questioning, I guess.
And cut the show.
And cut the show. Well, thank you. This has been.
I honestly think that like sometimes I think like man 30's like we're gonna feel so old at 30, but I think that for I don't know I think that's gonna be like our prime time in life, like around that time. I think
It's a
we're
different kind of prime time, but yeah.
I think like for a lot of people, if you like if you're taking care of yourself generally, it's like you're like late 20s, early 30s, like you're kind of like in your physical strength prime. You're in your like probably in your career prime, like you're in the space you want to be at generally. You might have a family, you might be on the way, like I feel like it's a good time in life. And I think that also 30 today is different from 30 40 years ago.
Mhm.
you
Well,
know?
yeah.
Like 30 like today it's like if you're 50 it's like, oh, he's still young, he still has plenty of time to do this and that and that. But like a long time ago when you're 50 it's like you're knocking on death's door soon,
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's like a on one level, we're financially in a space where we're not going to be able to own a house in a very long time, but at the same time we almost like our life seems longer
True.
than maybe other people's lives seemed
True.
back then.
Well, I'm going down south, so I'll get a house. I'm not.
You'll get a house.
I'll
Yeah.
get a house.
Buy a house as soon as you land.
Mhm.
I remember I saw a meme on Instagram. It was like, I don't know why I called it a meme. It's just a video on Instagram, and it was like this lady being like, "Oh, how expensive was your first house?" And he was interviewing this like 90-year-old.
Oh yeah, I saw
And
the same guy.
She said $12,000 was her first house.
That was insane. Yeah.
That was her first house in the 1940s or whatever,
Yeah.
50s, like $12,000.
He goes up to a few people and they get
Mhm.
angry.
Mm.
Don't talk to me.
Mm.
I'm not gonna tell you that.
Oh,
Leave me alone.
you know what's funny? In the video, he asks her, and she laughs before she answers. She like
Yeah.
chuckles, and everyone in the comments is like, she's laughing at us.
Yeah.
And she's like, look at this shit. Check this shit out.
Look at this generation.
Now it's like you can't even put $12,000 is like a down payment for like a car or something. Like a house is like, you know. Like what's the house down payment range now? Like in the hundreds of thousands probably.
Isn't it like it has to be 20%?
So what's 20? Okay, let's say a house on average right now is like what 1.5 to like 1.5, and depending on the
That's
area,
a
1
little
million?
high.
Well, let's
but
say
like
we
a
go
million at
Let's
least.
say a million.
Okay, sure.
What's 20% of a million? 200,000. I'm sorry, I'm bad at math. Is that it?
I'm also
200,000?
bad at math.
Does that make sense?
20%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
200,000.
Yeah.
Yeah,
fifth.
20%.
Yeah. So $200,000 down
Yeah.
is something I can't do for a long time. 200,000. Pretty
a lot.
crazy.
Insanity.
Yeah. I'm really warm in here. I'm gonna throw my sweater off after.
I'm doing okay. So
Take it off
far.
right now.
For now, take it off.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's true. There's no cuts, I guess, huh?
What's everybody been playing lately?
Like games.
Honestly,
Mhm.
I've
How's
been
Red Dead 2 going?
I've been slacking a little bit on
Oh.
Red Dead 2. I'm not gonna lie to you boys.
Okay.
I'm still in the part of the map where there's the Greys and the Braithwaites.
But you're out of the snow and all that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, last 2 episodes ago I was out of the snow.
Oh, right, right. What's happening narratively? What's Arthur and Dutch and all those fine folks up to?
Patrick loves Micah.
I hate Micah with a burning passion.
Yeah, he's
Screw
annoying. He's a
Micah.
little shit.
We just helped the sheriff bust the moonshiners.
Dude, he was telling me about this, and I was like, the game is so long, and I haven't played it in a while, obviously, but the game itself is so long that I had no idea what he was talking about. Like, I remember the families generally, but I was like, that particular mission where you're busting the moonshiners, I'm like, that doesn't sound even familiar to me.
Yeah, it's
I-
been
I
like
told
6
Mark-
years since I played it, and it's such a
That's
long
crazy,
game that
6
I'm
years,
like,
huh?
I know like some of the key moments and shit,
Mm-hmm.
but there's like a lot of the moment-to-moment stuff that I forget, and it's a
Yeah.
game I'd like to go back to, but it's just so fucking long that I'm
Well,
like,
I want to go back to it too, but I'm like, I don't think I ever will.
I was really confused with how they wrote Arthur Morgan's character. I was even talking to Mark about this.
so
In the women's emancipation riots,
Mhm.
he was standing with the people against women's emancipation.
Mhm.
So he was kind of like, I'm just bullshitting. He wasn't
I was
doing
gonna
that.
say I don't remember that, but I remember the like suffragettes being in like one of the towns, so you
Yeah.
can see them like
That's the
talking
town
about
I'm at right now.
wanting to like get the right to vote and whatever.
Yeah.
Still got to wait a couple decades.
They got a ways to go.
They got a ways to go,
Yeah.
but yeah, Arthur. Well, what do you think of our boy Arthur and some of the other people? Dutch.
Dutch is
John
pretty. Dutch is
Marston.
cool.
Dutch is so fucking.
John is bro. They hate on him so much.
John Marston.
They call him an idiot.
Yeah, they kind of punk on him a little bit, but Dutch is
I guess it's
good.
because he's like the young buck, you know.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But there was while we were riding our horses, he was talking to Hosea, and he was like, Hosea was like, "Why are you still like so mad at John?" And he was, no, it was with someone else, like a new person in the group.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you so mad at John? And he was like, "Oh yeah, because he got, I can't remember her name. He got
Abigail?
her pregnant, Abigail pregnant, and then he vanished for like a couple of years,
Mm-hmm.
and like he left us with that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Little Jack Marston,
is that his name?
I think so.
Jack Marston. Yeah.
Wait, he got.
I took him
he-
fishing.
Wait, he got her.
Yes, there's the mission where you go fishing with him.
He got her pregnant and then ditched his family.
He ditched the gang.
Yeah, I
and his
think.
family
Nobody-
for
He left Abigail.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
left
I think the
Abigail
lore
and
is
the
that
gang.
John kind of
Mm.
bounces for a little bit and then sort of like comes back around.
Yeah.
Mm.
Have you watched the apostate, the apocalypse, the Star Wars thing?
The
Oh.
acolyte.
Acolyte,
I have
apostate.
No, I'm so behind on Star Wars shit that I've almost just kind of given up at this point.
I've seen people.
Where it's like if they come out with some new movies and shit, I'll check it out. But like I'm at the point now because I would want to know everything. It's like so I have to go through all of Clone Wars
But Acolyte
and
is
then
its
all
own
of
thing.
Rebels and then Mandalorian and then Boba Fett. Not to get to Acolyte specifically, but I'm just saying like to understand where a lot of Star Wars is at right now.
I've said this multiple times, Matthew, and I'm wondering. I'm looking forward to the day where you heed my words. Clone Wars is an amazing standalone show. It pains me to hear you describe it as this thing you need to
But
get
it's not
through to
standalone.
understand.
But it's not. The universe is at a very like Marvel and DC
I'm not
point now.
speaking
Like
to the standalone point. I'm
Boba
speaking
Fett,
to
the show.
point.
Who's the fucking blue bounty hunter guy with the red eyes and the cowboy hat from Clone Wars?
I'm not speaking. Red Eyes, Bane.
Yeah, he's in fucking Boba Fett. And as soon as that was a thing where it's like, oh, they brought Bane back from Clone Wars.
Bane.
I'm like, well, I don't want to fucking watch Boba Fett
Okay,
and
that's
see
a
all
different
this
point.
shit until I watch Clone
The
Wars.
point
And I'm
I'm
never
tr-
going to do that.
The point I'm trying to communicate to you is that Clone Wars is a great show,
Sure.
and you should watch it not because you need to get through it to understand
But
the
it's-
later stuff.
Okay, but that's
because
it's
a
not
great
that I
show, you
want to
should
get
watch
through it. I want to watch Clone Wars and Rebels because I know they're going to be good. My thing is just more the fact of like, if I want to check out Mandalorian, I personally don't want to watch Mandalorian or Ahsoka until I have.
Your heart should be full
Clone
of joy.
Wars and
It's
Rebels
like, oh my
under my
God, I
belt.
have these amazing shows that I'm
I
going to
know.
experience for the
Alright,
first
alright.
time.
All right,
It's just
dork.
so much. It's too much. Like I'm just at the point where it's like.
Don't
I've
act
said
like
this-
it's Naruto with 500
I
seasons.
know, but I've said this to you guys before, where it's like when I get busier, movies and TV are always the thing that fall away first. Video games and comics are always my like. Those are the entertainment things I stick to as I get busier, and movies and TV fall away. So it's like I haven't really like my mom and I still have like 3 episodes of Fallout to get through because it's been like almost a month now since we watched like the last episode or whatever. And even some of the MCU stuff I'm trying to get caught up on. I watched like the first episode of Echo like a couple weeks ago, which Daredevil's in, fan-fucking-tastic. But it's like I watched the first episode of Echo, and there's only like 5. And I'm like, all right, I'll get to these other 4 at some point. Haven't fucking gotten back to it
Do you
yet.
finish Arcane?
No, Varsh and I watched the first episode of Arcane, and then every time we're together, we're watching like Superstore or something.
You know what's interesting? I've been talking to one of my coworkers who's like he's like a younger dude. He's like 18 or something, or something like that. And I was like recommending games for him to play, and he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna take your recommendation and play BioShock." He's gonna play like the first one, and like once a week, he's like, "Yeah, I was about to start it, and then my friends invited me to play Warzone." And then he, like even today, he was like, "Dude, I was literally about to boot it up, and then invites, we got a dub in Warzone." So like he's like,
We don't know that
Yeah,
sweet feeling.
so I'm almost like I'm thinking like how's the new generation kind of approaching playing single player narrative games? Because I feel like a lot of new gamers and stuff, they don't know about any of that shit. They're just like they know about like the free to play Fortnite model type game, and like I respect him for like trying to sit himself down and play it. But I almost wonder if like at some point those types of games are going to become less and less popular, or because people just want to consume like mass multiplayer type games
I cannot wait
for that model to die. Hopefully.
if I'm ever going to have kids. I am so looking forward to the idea of having a kid, and obviously like movies and like a bunch of other things too, but like being able to introduce them to video games and like hopefully they take to it and start them on the journey. Because I look at it for me where it's like my dad doesn't play video games. He likes all the old shit from when he was growing up kind of thing.
like Pong.
Like Pong. And like a lot of the arcadey stuff, which is some of my favorite shit.
Like Tetris.
Like Tetris.
The game that you bamboozled me on in your topic months ago.
What do you mean he bamboozled you?
It was
Guess the sound
guess
of the
the
music
sound,
or whatever it
and
was.
I said, "Oh, could it be Tetris?" But I was like, "No." He said no arcade games or anything, and no type of genre. You know what I'm saying? That I lumped Tetris in with.
Shout out Galaga and Miss Pac-Man.
Shout out episode 50 something.
Shout out episode whatever that was. But so my dad didn't necessarily introduce me to too much. It was more when I was a kid, and I think I've said this before, when like my uncle Joey would come over and like started bringing his PS2 because it had the Godzilla fighting games on there, and that was like the first thing I ever really like played, where it was just like mind melding of like, holy shit, it's Godzilla, but I can like fucking play it and it's awesome. But it was the thing of like the one day of me just rifling through the bag he would bring with the PS2 and like picking up fucking the original God of War and just immediately being like, what the fuck is this? And then like playing it. What's so funny? You feel like you've been holding in a laugh for like the past 30 seconds.
I don't know. I have this image, this scene in my head of
He's
you.
a kid with a beard.
Well, it's him, and his kid is like grown, and he goes, "You're such a nerd, Dad!" And he smacks him to the floor.
The kid smacks me or I smack the kid?
Smacks
You know-
you to the floor.
The
You're
kid
an old,
smacks
frail
me.
old man.
Dude, you
Wow.
know what's interesting? I feel like oftentimes we find these things that we love like by ourselves most of the time. I feel like, you know, you might have some influence, but there's no one sitting you down telling you have to play this or I want you to play this or that. I almost wonder if it's gonna like backfire in a way if you try to introduce them and they're like, oh, this is some shit that dad wants us to do. I don't want to do this shit. You know what I'm saying? Whereas maybe if you like kind of like you're playing and then they're like, what's this? And then you're like, oh, I'm just playing my game, whatever. And then they want to hop in. But I think if you like almost have it as a regiment, like it'll be like a chore for them potentially.
Maybe it's not that I'm gonna necessarily like force them and sit down, but I'm just looking forward to being able to introduce things. And I know like other people in like games media and shit, especially some of them now who are like older and having kids and shit, talk about this. And it's definitely something I think about where it's like, where do you even start? And like, how do you introduce things?
I know where
like,
I start.
Sly Cooper.
Because you've got people out there who can't fucking even work.
Okay,
nice father
games.
moment.
No.
Good father moment.
In my head, when I'm assuming in my head, like if I have a kid, like a young kid, immediately I'm going to Nintendo.
Okay, how about
and
this?
being like, get your fucking legs with Nintendo.
How about this? Let's play a game. Let's do like, okay, you have. Let's play let's pick 3 games. The first game you're going to introduce to your child who is like, you know, right around the age where playing games is even a thing. Like let's say like, I don't know, 8 years old, 9 years old, whatever you want to picture as the first age where you're playing like a single player game. And then let's pick the second game is when he's like kind of like a preteen teenager and then like, you know, he's an adult now. Like what 3 games would you make?
I have my 3 games right off the bat.
Okay, go for it.
Child, Super Mario Bros.
Okay, I'll let you go around one by one.
Okay.
So you're doing Super Mario Bros. Maddie, what are you doing for your first ever game?
Yeah, as like a little kid, like in my head when I'm introducing like a 4 or 5 year old to something, I'm like, here's Super Mario Bros. 3. Like, learn what a fucking 2D side scroller is and start there. We'll get to 3D in a little bit.
I'm trying to think of a game that's like really like child friendly but really fun because I didn't really play much as a kid. I got thrown right into like the mature stuff because my parents didn't like, they weren't on me about it, so I would just buy whatever and play it. I think as a first game, I love Mario Galaxy, Super Mario Galaxy. I think Nintendo's a good pick.
Nintendo's just the place to start to me for like 2D stuff and what video games are, and then eventually being like play Odyssey, play Galaxy, like play a 3D Mario and learn how
I have a new
3D works.
I have a new answer, and it's a game I've actually never played before. I played a piece of it, but I've never played the whole thing. But I remember loving it. I think I want to introduce them to Jak and Daxter. I think I'd throw Jak and Daxter in there. Yeah, Pastor, what would your second game be?
My second game would be Sly Cooper.
Isn't that more child oriented?
For a preteen, I would do Sly.
Preteen, okay.
That's around the time I started playing Sly.
Okay.
So.
Maddie, what about you? They're starting to grow up. They've hit puberty, or they're on their way. What's the next game you want them to play to enter maturity?
I don't know. I feel like my mind goes to like a first-person shooter, perhaps, like a Doom,
Horrible father moment,
or even like a Call of Duty or something, because I feel like that's another thing to like get the hang of.
Honestly,
maybe
Gross
a fighting
father
game
moment.
or something.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good answer. I like that.
I'm
Like
going-
a Mortal Kombat.
I'm going Uncharted.
Okay.
Preteen. That's perfect for Uncharted because there's no crazy blood or nudity or it's not vulgar, but it's like it's mature enough where it's like a PG-13 kind of vibe, and it's just I'm playing through them right now. I'm on number 3, and 3 is amazing. I love 3, so I do that. And then I'm just gonna jump to the third one as well.
Yeah.
To me, I'm just thinking about. I'm just doing a Naughty Dog trilogy here. I'm doing like Jak and Daxter, which is Naughty Dog, no?
Yeah.
And then Uncharted, and then Last of Us is like the level up of like now you're playing a mature like game that's still amazing. So that would be my 3, I think.
Mine's GTA.
Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah, throw them in there.
For the preteen thing?
No.
No, for the
Preteen, I
third.
said Sly.
Oh, right, for the adult thing. Yeah, that's good. But I mean, for me, it's Bioshock, obviously. Where I like sit down and fucking play.
You wouldn't do Bioshock preteen? Is that too young? You think?
I would, because that's when I played it. But like in my head, I'm like maybe just save that a bit. I don't know.
Our kids are lucky. I feel bad for.
Why are kids
Poor,
lucky?
yeah, because
Oh,
we
'cause of
chose
Bioshock?
great
Bioshock's
games.
But
we,
I
we
just-
chose a great progression, great games, and Matthew.
To my point, though, I'm just looking forward, if I ever have a kid, to that idea of just being able
What if
to,
they
like,
hate Bioshock? Do you disown him?
I hate Bioshock.
Probably, yeah.
You disown the kid.
Probably,
What-
yeah.
what if they-
I abort the kid, even if they're like 16. I'm
What-
like,
what
you're
if he's-
getting aborted.
How upset would you be if your kid is like a mobile gamer and he hates console or PC? Like he doesn't want to play any games. He just plays mobile games.
My kid, but I feel like that would never happen though, because I feel like if it's me and my kid's like into games, it's like, well, then you're gonna be like influenced
Bro,
heavily
I
by like
can't wait.
what I'm introducing them to.
But what again?
Bro.
What if you have a kid who's like opposite wants to do opposite of what you want to do?
Bro, I can't wait for when we're all older and it's like a rainy night. There's like maybe a thunderstorm and I hear a knock on my door and I open the door and it's a wet child and he goes, Dad won't let me play my mobile games. He kicked me out of the house. Uncle Patrick, I need a place to stay. And
Yeah, I'd be like,
come on in.
Get out, son.
Come on in, buddy. I know
Take
your
your
father is
fucking-
very abusive.
I got all the Angry Birds here.
Take your Candy Crush and fucking get out. No, but I'm just looking forward to games, and I'm looking forward to being able to introduce them to shit that's like old for us too, because I like old stuff and the classics, and so I'm looking forward to being, especially stuff that right now for us is contemporary, but like in 10 years to be like, you know, here's Red Dead 2 in 10 years, which at that point it's going to be like this decade and a half old
Isn't
game.
it crazy that people are gonna have the conversation of whether it holds up or not?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And to me, it's just like I'm looking forward to the idea of having a kid and being like,
God of War.
here's, you know, Super Mario Bros. 3 kind of thing. But being able to be like outside of like, you know, Mega Man and like Galaga and all this like older shit, but then being able to sit them down and be like, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, Metal Gear Solid, fucking, you know,
Better have played all these games
like
before you
Portal.
show
Or
them.
I've played all this shit. That's what I'm
Better.
saying.
And
Of
then,
like,
and then this kid goes, I want to play COD.
I want to play Cyberpunk 99, 90, 54,
Exactly.
50, 60,
but just
70.
like the idea of just being able to like
50, 60, 70.
the idea of being to like sit down
I
and
lagged.
like show a kid and like a younger person all this shit for the first time and then kind of like live it again through them. I'm already getting that joy now to some extent with Varsh, where it's like recently we played episode 3 of the first season of The Walking Dead, and I don't think she's gonna want to play anything after it. Like I think she's kind of done with it, but I just want her to finish the first season of The Walking Dead, and it's like so much fun watching
Reliving
her play it and like living it through her. And then we're also playing something like It Takes Two right now, where it's like that's fun because we're playing
Co-op.
together. And blah,
I don't
blah, blah.
get how you're so, for lack of a better word, happy going through this with her, because of the very obvious fact that she's overshadowed you and overcome you in your ability to play games.
In what sense?
That she's better than you
In what way?
in every way.
I'd like to see her beat Bloodborne, like I did.
Such a serious response.
Very, very thoughtful.
Very thoughtful.
I'd like to. I'd like
And
to
pick.
He shut that down. Shit.
I'd like to see- yeah, I had to pick a hard game because I can't even pick like
Cuphead.
that. Cuphead 2 is another good one.
Have fun with Cuphead.
Yeah, have fun with Cuphead. God, give me more of that.
You know,
But
I was gonna say I feel like what was I gonna say? Shit, I just had something here.
I have a conversational
Yeah, go
left
ahead.
turn.
Yeah. Oh,
we still on it?
no, I was gonna say
Yeah.
something about gaming. I was gonna say you were talking about Varsh.
Mhm.
What were you talking about?
Re-experiencing.
Oh yeah, okay.
Mhm.
I've been thinking about this sometimes about being more precious about the things that I love, and withholding things that I love more. I feel like there's something to that because I think I'm the type where I just want to like if I'm dating someone or I'm like close with somebody, I want to show them everything that I love, but I'm also like I feel like because I'm so personally attached to some things. I feel like sometimes it's healthy and normal and good to just be like, you know, this is my thing. I love this thing. I don't have to like shove it in everybody's face. You know what I'm saying? Because I also think that like sometimes you may show someone something that you love so deeply and you connect with so deeply that when they're just nonchalant about it or don't care about it, you like or just feel pain. Like you're like, nah, like fuck, like this thing feels like, you know, I want it to be like a precious special thing for me, and it is. And then hearing someone not like it, it's like, oh, that kind of makes me upset. Or even like if you're talking about relationships, this is an interesting conversation. Like, do you withhold showing your partner something if you're not sure if you're gonna marry them or be with them forever type thing? I mean, obviously there's no way to ever know that. But like if you're just kind of casually dating someone, maybe I won't show them my favorite show ever, because then they might. What if they like it and then we're watching it together and then you know we break up and now that show is like infused with the memory of that thing. I had something similar kind of happen where like my ex-girlfriend and I watched like The Bear together, like up until like we finished the first season and started the second season. And I guess to kind of counter my own argument, after we split up, I like didn't watch it for a while, and then I just restarted it and watched the whole thing, and now it's like one of my favorite shows ever. So I think it's definitely possible to share something, have a situation like a dramatic situation like that happen, and then you still enjoy it. But then I was also like, man, maybe I shouldn't like be so easy to kind of show everything that I love to somebody type thing. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that you should even ever think about that, or it's like, who cares? You know?
I don't think about that at all. To me, it's just like I'm looking forward to showing Varsh like anything and everything,
But
and
no,
even
but-
like
no, but that's
showing her
because-
Bioshock and her being like, "This sucks, I don't like it," or "It's scary," or whatever. Like her
Yeah.
not being into it at all, to me would be like,
Well, but she's not into video games though. I'm saying, let's say
but
let's
she,
say for example, two things. I think because you have aspirations to be with her like permanently, and she has the same with you, like it's different. I think. Whereas if you're dating someone and you're just getting to know them and it's casual at first, and let's say they're a big movie nerd, and you're a big movie nerd, would you show them like, would you introduce them to Blade Runner even though they've never seen it, and and it's still casual and you don't know if you're gonna even stay together, and but they're also big into movies type thing. You know what I'm saying? Would you ever think about it that way? Because then I think like, I barely know this person. This is like a precious movie to me. Like, do I want to show it to them and then just shit on it type thing? I don't even, you know what I'm saying?
I guess,
that's
but
what I'm
I don't know.
thinking.
I've never really had that like concern, because to me it's just like I like it and I'm not worried about it being like.
Up until this point, I haven't had that. I've never stopped myself from showing someone something up until this point. I'm always very like, I'm so excited to show them that thing because I love it so much. But then now I'm reflecting like, maybe should I withhold anything? It's just an interesting thought. I think, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Patrick? Would you ever second guess yourself, like showing something to someone that's like, you like this, you love this thing so much, or would you like, it doesn't matter if you even if you're casually seeing someone, you'd show them that thing that you are so like connected to?
Here's the thing as well. Sometimes, I'm not saying it happens all the time,
Sure.
but oftentimes I find that when you build something up and you're excited about something and you show this person who is the significant other,
You're
in
always
this
going to be
situation,
let down.
not that you're always going to be let down, that I think there's a pressure on their end to be like, oh yeah, that was good, or like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I don't know, I can't think of many times where it would happen where they're just like, that was garbage. Like, even if they didn't like it, they'd be like, yeah, that was pretty cool, you know?
But that's heartbreaking sometimes. If
Pretty
you
cool?
love the thing, and they're like, yeah, that was good. It's like, geez, dude, like this is like the best thing I've ever seen in my life. Yeah.
Well, it also depends too on what it is, because like to my thing with Bioshock and Varsh,
She's
I'd
not-
like
yeah.
to show it to her one day, but there's almost a part of me that's like, I'm not even gonna bother with this
Because you know she'd.
because I know it's just not gonna be up your alley. Like, I'd rather show you The Walking Dead, or like, I mean, she's seen the Last of Us show and she's like watched like long plays and shit of like
like
the
a movie.
whole first game. So
You're
it's
both
like,
you're both into movies. That would be different, I think.
but even that, it would depend on the movie. If I was with somebody who's like, I could give less of a fuck about sci-fi, then I'd be like, well, am I even gonna bother showing you Blade Runner, knowing you're not gonna like
Well, see,
get anything out of it?
That's another thing, is kind of withholding that sort of stuff that you feel like they're not going to connect with type thing. That makes sense. You're not going to want to show someone a horror movie if they don't like horror. You know?
I look at it more in that sense than in like I'm worried about it being like
Don't set yourself up
tainted
for
or
failure.
because it's like, for example, I would love to show Varsh The Thing. I know for a fact she would hate The Thing.
Why?
Because it's scary. She doesn't like horror movies, and it's all fucking blood and guts and gore, which she fucking also hates. So I'm like, you would not like The Thing. So that's why I'm like not worried about. That's why I don't even like think about showing it to her. It's not from like if something happens and then like the thing's gonna be like tainted for me and anything. It's more just like, I know you're not gonna like this. It's not even worth like trying to sit you down and like do it kind of thing.
I've had these thoughts when we play like our wheel game, the movie wheel, and I'll be like, okay, I just watched this movie and it like, this is such a beautiful movie. I love it. It's one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life. And I'm like, I'm gonna put it on the wheel. But then I'm like, yeah, but like, what if like they all just don't really like it, and then I'm gonna be like annoyed. But then I end up putting it on anyway. Because
I definitely put movies on there that are like selfish picks for me, where I'm just
Sure.
like, I like this, I want to show it to them, and like whatever.
But to me, like, I feel like certain movies are so precious to me personally, and I connect with them so personally that if I like show them and like, it's almost like I'm being vulnerable with other people. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I'm like, here, look at this thing that is like so beautiful to me. It's like so connected to my heart. And then you're like, man, it's all right. And then I'm like, oh, that hurts.
Is that how you felt when I talked about the Blood movie? What was it called?
There Will Be Blood.
There Will Be Blood.
I love There Will Be Blood, but it's not like it's not one of those movies where it's like, oh, I love it so much and it's so deeply connected to me.
Okay.
I think like a movie like The Grand Budapest Hotel is different for me. Like that movie is like so precious to me. So that
So
when
when you and Malcolm.
yeah, so when you and
goes
Mal,
off.
yeah, I mean, what did you say?
Well, I'm definitely not
You were in
your
more in the
level of
middle.
it, but I'm
Yeah.
more in the middle of, like, I'm not to Malcolm's degree, but I'm,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
so to me, even like, I mean, but also at the same time, it depends on the person too. Like, I think that's another thing. Like, if I'm talking to someone who's like a super casual moviegoer and doesn't really watch movies or just watches like, you know, super basic action movies or Marvel movies or whatever, I might not put that much stock into the fact, you know, I won't think much about it if they dislike the movie that I really like, because it's like, I don't really think you have the best movie taste anyway. You know what I'm saying? Whereas if someone's like a big movie person and they hated Grand Budapest Hotel, I'd be like, I feel betrayed. I feel like I just showed you this beautiful thing and you just spat on it.
Yeah.
But I also think that like at the end of the day, it's worth taking that risk. It's a small risk and it's a silly risk that to even call it a risk. But I feel like at the end of the day, it's like you should share what you love, even if it may make you end up feeling a little sad that they didn't like it. You know. But yeah. I don't know. I
What
think
was
about
your
that.
left turn, Patrick?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
What was my left turn? What was my left turn? My left turn was okay. This is something that happened. This is something that happened first year of university. I was pretty blinded, and in fact, I think it's one of the great shames of my life.
Wow.
Mm.
And you've got a lot.
I've got a lot of great shames.
Lots to choose from. Yeah.
And I'm not surprised that we haven't talked about it. I'm not surprised because it wasn't even that major of a thing. But like, okay,
Cops are on standby.
this is the cops are on standby. So in first year, and again, I want to preface this again. One of the
I
great,
didn't know how old
one
she
of the
was.
great shames of my life.
Yeah.
In first year, I went to school with Mustafa. I was getting really close to Mustafa.
How close?
One day he comes. One day
You
he
know
comes
what I
to
mean?
me. One day he comes to me and he goes, "Yo, Patrick, like it's rough out here being a university student. Like we gotta make money out here." And so he introduces me to, I can't even remember the name of the company. It was called Kuvera. And it's this company that teaches you how to trade Forex.
It's like stocks.
Forex currency.
Mm.
Okay.
It's like a crypto thing.
It could be crypto, but we were more so focusing on like world currencies like the US dollar,
The Canadian
Japanese yen,
dollar.
Canadian dollar, etc. And so you'd enroll and there would be a fee to like learn the material, like have access to the material. And there would be like group gatherings or whatever to like talk about the material. But
In person?
in person, like you would meet like people, like higher up people who've like gone through the system, so they say. And
Sounds like a pyramid scheme to me.
well, let me finish.
Okay.
And so just keep that thought in your mind. And so you pay this monthly fee, but if you can recruit 3 of your friends
There
or
we go.
3 people,
So literally a pyramid scheme.
then you don't pay anymore. Like you have all the content for
We had a
free.
Michael Scott moment where
You
you
ha-
brought that. He's literally like explaining it, and then Jim just gets up and starts going like he starts like visually representing it, and then he just puts a triangle around
Well,
it.
I didn't end up having that moment until way later than I care to admit. I was even at Zaid's house once, and Zaid
Selling
was
him
like,
on it.
I was trying to sell Zaid on it, and Zaid was like, "Dude,
Jeez.
this sounds like a pyramid scheme," and I was like, "No, it's not." And so, wait, did I never tell you guys about this?
No,
No.
but how did you
What
get
the
any
hell?
money
We
out of
talked
this?
about this.
How did you get any money out of this?
The whole point is that you learn how to trade these currencies, and you actively trade these currencies, and they have these networks and analysts that like drop predictions in the market, and so you would follow their trades, or you could do your own trades of currency, and that's how you make money is by trading currency.
What do you mean trading currency? What does that even mean?
I don't really know what that means.
Okay, think about
What do you, like,
the
convert it?
relationship between.
So you have to take your own money.
Yes.
So you would take like $50 and do
Yes.
what with it?
So you would
Trade
put
it for an
into
equivalent
Forex.
amount of money of yen?
Okay.
Exactly. So any grouping of currencies, pairing of currencies, their value relative to each other is volatile like the stock market.
Sure.
So
So you basically want to convert it to something else, and it's going to go up.
exactly. So if you, for example, if you're predicting that the yen is going to gain more value over the dollar over this next period of time, then you buy yen, wait for that rise, and then if you think it's going to drop, you sell, and then that's where you make your profit.
So, but so you had to recruit other people
So if
to
you
get
wanted
them to do the same thing
Pay
Yeah.
for the courses or
and to
whatever.
pay for the courses?
to pay for the courses, if you got 3 people, then you got access to the analysts and the course material for free after that.
See, this is why it's all bullshit because it just sounds. And is the company taking any percentage of like if you take $50, convert it to yen, and then convert it back to Canadian dollars for more money?
No.
Are they taking any of that?
No, you
No, but
have
they-
to set up an account with a brokerage. It's like an independent brokerage. Same thing with like stocks. Like CIBC is a brokerage for like.
So
stocks.
then there you go. That's all you needed to know when it's like, oh, how does this company make money? By us paying them for the course, and
Yeah.
they want us to get 3 more people to pay for the course.
That's all I needed to
That's
know.
all you
That's
fucking
the
need
thing.
to know.
And that's why I'm telling you, it's one of the greatest shames of my life.
that you were too blind
because
to
I
see
was
that.
too hungry for the
I
money.
think I remember
So
you mentioning
how
it.
much
I
money
definitely mentioned it to
did
you
you
guys.
make, and how much money did you lose?
On God, I still have $300. So I went into a brokerage account with $50. I have $300 in a brokerage account right now. And for the past, I don't know how long, I've been trying to get it out of this account. And the company is not letting me have my money.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So I don't know what's happened. They're like, oh, like our debit is down or
Oh,
something.
you're cutting out.
But the
So
thing is,
did you only give
if
them like
the
$50.
The thing is, if I open my account, the money's still gonna be there. I can look on my laptop right now. I'm gonna have 600.
You
and
can't
I can
deposit.
trade,
You can't withdraw
and I
it.
can trade it. But for whatever reason, I haven't been able to withdraw.
There's no system within when you log in. You can't just withdraw easily.
I'll go in again, and I have to look again.
It's like
this was a
I assume
long
it's like,
while ago.
I assume it's like the same with like sports betting, where you put it, you load it, you do whatever you want with it, then you can just pull it out whenever.
You should be able to just pull it out. Yeah.
Yeah, this
But-
should be a great shame of you that you.
It's a great shame of mine.
Mustafa
And
fell
so
for this.
one of the main leaders, his name is Rakan.
No, shut out.
And so when I first met him, he drove a Maserati.
Mm-hmm.
He had like maybe 20,000
By the
followers
way,
on Instagram.
rented for sure. Go ahead.
He owned the Maserati.
No.
Well, I mean, I can't say for certain,
He,
but
he rented it, leased it tops.
well, hold on. So he had like a couple thousand to maybe 10, 20,000 followers. Somehow, some way, his account pops up for me again on Instagram. He's at, I think, 500,000, maybe 700,000 followers. Now he has a McLaren, and he does like podcasts, like just himself talking about how, and he does Arabic and English. He talks about how to get rich and
Bro, fuck
Set
it.
up a company where everybody pays you money for
I
a
think
dumb
he
course.
I think he went solo because he was with this company, but I think he went solo.
Sure.
Some of the cringiest material online right now is the get out of the matrix, dude, bro. Here's how you actually grab life by the balls type content. Like that to me, like there's this guy that I follow. I follow him because I think it's funny to watch him. Is that Andy Elliott guy? You know that Andy Elliott guy?
Is he the comedian that does like the fake?
No, he's a
Videos?
real motivational guy.
Who's the guy that there's like two guys out there that one of them's
you're-
like a stand-up
Yeah.
comic.
Well, so there's the guys who have the Instagram account called Friday Beers, and they do like sketch comedy. And then they also have an account called Entrepreneur, but it's spelled weird, and it has like a million followers or whatever, and it has like a bunch of satirical content making fun of people who try to be like gurus or whatever. So it'll be like this guy who's like dressed in a suit as a professor, and he's like giving a lecture, but it's like the most nonsensical thing you've ever heard. But what I'm talking about is this guy Andy Elliott. He's like this bald dude, jacked, good shape, whatever, and his whole shtick is to like have people pay for him to like kind of yell at them basically. Like he'll kind of like have a bunch of people in a room, like he'll be lecturing at them. He'll call somebody up and he'll be like, take your shirt off, and the guy takes his shirt off and he's like kind of like tubby and out of shape or whatever, and he's like, look at this shit. You think anyone's gonna want to like buy from you? Like he like trains salespeople.
Yeah.
So he'll be like, you think anyone is gonna want to buy from you, even though you can't take care of yourself? Like, how is anyone gonna trust you to take care of them if you can't even take care of yourself? And he just basically like yells at them and insults them, and then all the comments are like, these cucks like are signing up to just be yelled at or whatever. But it's like, yeah, I don't know.
Sell me this pen.
Yeah,
It reminds
basically.
me of when we did our UTM live episode last year, whatever that is. Fucking check it out. And I forget which of the people we had sit on with us. I think it was actually the guy that him and I talked about BioShock and some games and stuff. But I remember when we had approached, when we were just like asking people to come
Misogynistic,
sit at the
whatever,
table.
yeah.
Yeah, and he had like, there was like someone at UTM who had said that to us of like, you guys aren't one of these like fucking sexist podcasts that talks about like, hating women and all this shit, right? No, I was like, we're well aware.
Not yet.
Not yet. Give it time when we sell out. But
If we want to actually get followers going,
We're gonna sell it one day.
we'll sell it one day. I would sell out in a heartbeat if it was like,
satirical.
well, just like actually possible.
Yeah.
Like if somebody came to us and was like, here's like $10 million to talk about fucking like sports drinks or whatever. And I'd be like, all right, like whatever.
What if it was
Talk about Prime? Are you kidding me?
Sure.
What if it's to become one of those? We'll pay $10 million if you just have OnlyFans models on and make fun of them and like test them and stuff. 10 mil.
I would be, I think I could still see myself caving and doing that because I don't know if I feel that strongly against it kind of thing. It's more the shit that I think of when it's like you see some of these like, I associate more with like these conservative talk people, but I'm sure there's a ton of fucking people on the left who do it too. But when it's like you see some of these people who like do like, conservative podcasts and all this like right-wing shit and talking points and whatever that they're just clearly doing for like the fucking money and whatever, and it's like you don't believe any of what you're saying and you're just like doing all this dumb shit.
Yeah, there's a guy that I watch sometimes where he like sometimes he'll make a good point and then other times he'll just be like totally just trying to like rile people up, and it'll just be him. It's like kind of like Steven Crowder type material where it's like he's at a table and he has like a provocative statement or whatever.
Yeah,
And then people
like,
walk up and then he's like, all right, like define a woman. What's a woman? And then they're like, oh, well, I don't know. What do you mean? And they're like, you're in college. You can't define a woman. And then everyone kind of makes fun of them or whatever.
yeah, it's like I would never do that shit because I could never sell my soul to that degree.
Not even for 10 milli?
No, because those are the people
100
that
million.
because those are the people.
1 billion.
No, because those are the people that I hate the most. Like I've talked about this, where it's like it's one thing for people who are like
Okay, how about this?
genuine,
One last.
and stupid, but the people that like fake it for money,
One
is
last scenario.
just evil.
1 trillion and your kids, your kids' kids
Generational
are
wealth.
guaranteed healthy, happy, live long lives.
You'd be dumb not to do it at that point.
I mean, I guess at that point, because you're promising like my future generations are like immortal. So it's
they
like
live long and happy. I'm not saying they're immortal.
I
buddy.
know, not literally, but I'm saying like they're not gonna get like fucking cancer and shit. It's like, well,
They're
when
gonna
you
live long, happy lives.
sure. So it's like I guess in that sense,
Sell out.
sure.
I
In
guess
that
you don't hate him
sense.
as much as you say you do.
Gotta.
Yeah, in the scenario you've painted, that
Gotta.
doesn't. In the scenario you've painted, that doesn't exist. That's physically impossible. But
I think you probably have a fun time. You probably love doing that scenario, but you're like making fun of it while you're doing it, you know?
yeah, if
Or
I was
like
in
it's
like
like-
an old school Stephen Colbert position, like on the Colbert Report, where the entire point of that show was just like he played at being like this like super hardcore right wing guy, but like in doing so poked all kinds of fun at it. Like that would be a fun gig of just like making fun of some of those people. Do you see Alex Jones like bawling his eyes out recently?
No.
I don't know anything about Alex Jones. to be
They
honest with
there
you.
was a thing as part of like the court thing he went through when he like also had to pay those families like
Sandy
tens
Hook
if
stuff.
not hundreds of millions of
Right.
dollars for like going on
You know
about
about that? He basically claimed that
the Sandy Hook thing.
he
right?
claimed that it
Yes.
was just like a fake thing and there's actors and whatever, and then all these families are suing him basically for like lying about it. And I don't know what the official what's it called? Like I don't know if it's defamation or I don't know what the official like
whatever the fuck they charge him
yeah.
with, but he owes these people now like tens
Yeah.
if not hundreds of millions of dollars. But there was
Hundreds
something
each?
I don't know if it's each or just total. Like it might be like 300 million total spread out across like however many families. But there was some clip going around a couple days ago where I guess there was something where it was like they were going to maybe force him or like go after and shut down InfoWars, like his site and whatever. And then I guess they had been like, hey, we're giving you like 2 weeks and then we'll like touch base against it. So I don't know what the fuck's going to happen to it. I mean, by the time this comes out, there might be an answer already. But there was just a video of him going around where he's just like bawling his eyes out on camera, being
What's
like, you know,
Infowars?
his like
his
website.
it's like a show that he does, like his podcast kind of show.
Oh, it's just a podcast.
Well, it's not a podcast. It's like a news kind of show, like a kind of like controversial.
News.
Not
It's
news,
just him
but
talking down the
current
barrel of the
events and
camera, like, you know, and just
just like
it's just like conservative talk radio and shit
Yeah.
like that.
just like you'd see like I don't know like Bill Maher doing a show and he's like giving a monologue about something, or, you know.
But yeah, he's just like bawling his eyes out on camera, being like, these people are evil and they're coming after us and they hate children and all this stuff, and like we're not gonna let them take us down and all that stuff. It's like, oh my god, dude, like get fucked. But
Alex.
yeah, shout out Alex. There's a lot of people like that, especially now with all the Trump shit.
Would
too.
you have him on the podcast?
Alex Jones? Abso-fucking-lutely. Are you kidding me? That would be fascinating.
Let's get this done.
Just to fucking pick his brain and be like, why are you such a seething idiot? But no, yeah, it's been funny too with like all the Trump shit, how like that wrapped up, and when they like convicted him of all that stuff and found him guilty, and it's like immediately the fucking like right wing side of things losing their mind of like all the internet stuff, like Ben Shapiro and all these fucking guys, and then like Fox News and all this shit, where it's like the trial was a total scam and a total witch hunt and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, well, was it? That's neither here nor there.
All right, how do we wrap this boy up? Yeah.
How long have we been going?
Like an hour 10 minus maybe a couple minutes.
Was there anything else you guys wanted to
Set up in the beginning.
to converse about?
Anything else to converse about? Anything I felt like I needed to get off? I mean, the day we're recording this, the Xbox showcase happened, part of the Summer Games thing. I was watching some of it
Anything
at
good?
home. So far, I mean, the PlayStation State of Play they just had last week was like whatever, and even the Summer Games Fest show was like mostly whatever. So far, clearly this Xbox thing is like the best event happening. I mean, we haven't heard from Nintendo yet, but yeah, they came out swinging with the first thing they showed aside from Black Ops 6.
Oh, apparently Black Ops is bringing back round-based zombies.
Hell yes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
But the first thing they open with is they're doing a new Doom. It's Doom: The Dark Ages or whatever.
That's a new Doom game.
And it's like a prequel, but it's like a medieval times
Oh, same
set
company?
Doom. Yeah, like it's
Oh.
in whatever. And just immediately off the first fucking trailer, where he's got like a shield
Not gonna
that's
play
got
it.
like saw blades around it, and he's like swinging a mace. But then obviously he's got the gun. I literally lost my shit at home watching it in the trailer, where it's like him running at a demon, obviously with like, you know, Doom, the iconic double barrel shotgun. But he pulls out this other gun where it's this big weird looking metal thing with like a human skull sitting in it. And then when he's using it, the gun literally has like grinders in it, so it's literally just skulls being fed into the grinder, and then like the fragments of bones just like coming out like a spread shot thing. I was like, that's the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen, of a gun just grinding up skulls, just firing out all the bone bits. Immaculate. Fantastic. Can't get enough. So anyways, I'm looking forward to going home after this and finishing up the show, maybe playing some more System Shock later. Probably going to bed real soon because I'm a tired boy. I was out all fucking day, mostly outside, and then just out and about at my cousins and whatnot. So I'm a tired boy. There's a little bit of pizza at home. I'm looking forward to going home and having myself a fucking slice. Maybe a little
Where'd you get pizza
drinky
from?
poo. Pizzaville, the goat.
Classic.
Classic. But yeah, anyways, both of you literally did that at the exact same time.
You did?
I'm both just pretending like you're asleep. Anyways, yeah, I'm excited for my topic, hopefully next week, because like I said, I had a game that I wanted to do that I'm looking forward to doing. So that'll be, what, 66? I've got 69 lined up. I have maybe one I'll do in there in like 67, 68. So I got my next few weeks fucking lined up, dude. Ready to go. We're getting into the swing of summer.
Are you rubbing it in?
What, that I have topics lined up? I mean, I guess if you didn't have topics lined up, you could look at it that way.
Do you?
Topics lined up?
No.
Looking forward to Malcolm's birthday in a couple
Next week,
weeks.
because of this week we didn't do it.
Oh yeah.
Going to fucking Barbarians for some delicious, delicious
Is there
steak.
anything about that day you're not looking forward to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we can end it there.
There you go. Anyways, well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. This has been another Chatting with the Boys episode. Am I going to call it Chatting with the Boys? I don't know. We'll see. I kind of like the idea in my head of having like specific episode names that are like recurring, you know?
Yeah.
Like if my dad and I do another episode at some point, like I will definitely call that Old and Gold again, you know?
Just say Chatting with the Boys number 2 or part 2 or something.
Yeah, so maybe this will be another Chatting with the Boys, and that'll sort of be like the subcategory of like one of these one-off episodes where we're just not doing topics. But anyways, look forward to this. I guess. I hope you enjoyed it. You know, are you wet right now? Are you pitching a tent? I have to tell you something. I have to tell you something off air
Why do you have to be
about
vulgar
pitching a
with it?
tent. Don't let me forget off air. Pitching a tent. I have to tell you something. Anyways, thank you. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
See ya.